Which of these two sentences sounds more natural and relaxed to you? How did they know where we would be today and what we would do? Or, how'd they know where we'd be today and what we'd do? A native English speaker will tell you the second one sounds way less stiff and formal than the first one. If achieving a more relaxed, casual, native-sounding style of American English is important to you, let's take a look at how to incorporate some more contractions into your daily speech. Hi there, I'm Lori with Pronunciation Pro and CommuniClinic. In each of my videos, I provide just a snippet of information about American English pronunciation. A snippet is a small amount of something, so I try to keep my videos on the short side so you can quickly and easily get one small thing to work on that will improve your pronunciation and help you sound more like a native speaker. I've done 2 previous videos on contractions, and in this one I covered those contractions that end with T''D, like that'd, it'd, and what'd. But I've had a request from a viewer to also cover those other contractions that end in ''D, like why'd, how'd, you'd, where'd, and so forth. So that's what we're going to focus on in today's video. In one respect, these contractions are a little bit easier than the ones in that previous video I mentioned because you're basically just adding a D sound to the end of the word. You don't have to change anything at all about the first word. For example, wide is just Y plus D, wide. And where'd is just where plus D, where'd. It's pretty straightforward. Just add a D sound at the end of the word. The slightly confusing thing about the contractions that end in ''D is that the D can represent up to 3 different words: had, or would, or did. For instance, if I say, "How'd it go today?" what I'm really saying is, how did it go today? If I say, "I realized he'd been right," what I'm really saying is, I realized he had been right. And if I say, "You'd probably agree with him," what I'm really saying is, you would probably agree with him. So you can see that the D can stand for different words in these contractions. What that means is, if you are in the habit of avoiding contractions and you're reading a sentence like this out loud, you have to figure out in your head whether you should use you had or you would. You had loved that movie doesn't make sense grammatically, so it has to be you would love that movie. I've heard plenty of students use the wrong word because they're avoiding saying the contraction as it's written. So for example, you had better be home early tonight comes out as you would better be home early tonight, which doesn't make grammatical sense for your listener. It's far safer to just pronounce the contraction as it's written, you'd. Then you don't have to do that quick mental assessment to figure out which word to use. This contraction is always pronounced you'd. All right, let's practice some sentences containing those ''D contractions. After I say the sentence, I want you to push the pause button and try to say it just like I did. Don't change the contraction to its long form. Say it as a contraction. Ready? Here we go. Why did it take so long to get a response? He'd read that book many times. If you'd like to see the show, I can take you. How'd it happen so soon? We thought she'd be happy about it. I'd been wanting a puppy for a long time. They told me they'd be late. Where'd he find such a beautiful ring? We thought we'd have a lot of guests at the party. I knew there'd been lots of applicants for the position. Well, I hope you feel a little bit more comfortable with using contractions at this point. If you're not quite there yet, keep practicing them. The more you use contractions, the more natural they're going to feel. And when you're reading something that has a contraction in the printed form, don't change it to its long form. Try to say it as a contraction. That's a good place to start getting more comfortable with using them. Thanks so much to the listener who requested this video. I hope it was helpful. If so, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. If you're struggling with aspects of American English pronunciation and feel like you're not making the progress you'd like to be making, why not consider working with me directly so you can receive personalized feedback and instruction? I've included the links for that below. In the meantime, happy practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.